We all know if Canelo wins this fight, more than likely he's going to 160 next. He even said at the post-fight, this is more than likely his last fight at 154. He would have gotten Saunders whenever he comes back. So that was the obvious setup. But Saunders more than likely is kicking himself in the ass at this moment because it's the best missed opportunity right there that you got. That's the best. Your thoughts on that? Do you think Saunders is kicking himself in the ass for this?
Not really. He contradicts himself a lot, but I don't think he really cares. I think he's making enough money back home, and he's turned down so many fights for so many reasons I don't even understand. I don't think he's kicking himself. I mean, the guy he said that Triple G would end up kicking his ass and Eubank's ass on the same night. As WBO champion, you don't say that. You know, there's a lot of weird things that he says that, honestly, I don't even think he even realizes what he's even saying half the time. So, is he kicking himself in the ass? Maybe, maybe not. I don't think he really cares.
Your thoughts on that?
I would say he is, because whenever you can get into that squared circle and you know you can win against a quality opponent in terms of the media, and you take that opportunity. Floyd Mayweather did it his last 15 fights.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you know, like, I honestly, this is my heart of hearts. I think he sandbagged Canelo those last 4 rounds because I thought that he was going to bring him back. Because I thought he was going to bring him back later in his career when he's 25, so he's outgrown 152. Yeah. But I thought he was going to bring him back later and be like, you know, okay, he's ready. Okay, I'm not going to take everything out this kid, but I'm going to let everybody know that I'm the proven champion. Yeah. The same thing he did, I swear, you guys, I think the same thing he did with Maidana. No parts of me believe Maidana can last in the ring before. You could throw 100 punches at Floyd Mayweather. I just don't believe that Floyd is just that special of a fighter, like a Roy Jones, like a Felix Trinidad. Like, just they're just up there. It doesn't matter who you put with them in their weight class that can beat them in their prime. And I think he sandbagged Canelo. I think he sandbagged Maidana. And so anytime you get a chance to get in the ring and you know you can win a couple $1 million at that level, you take it. Mm-hmm. What Billy Joe Saunders get for that fight? Between $1 and $2 million? For the undercard, maybe $1 million max. But he's a champion, so
for the Rosado fighter, it was upwards up to, like, I believe, $750K to $1 million.
Oh yeah, you take that fight.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the.
With more than likely you getting Canelo next.
Yeah, but I also think he's not really 100% with himself. I don't think he's that confident, knowing that whether he can get a decision or if he can beat Canelo or cannot. Because look at the things that he says.
Yeah, true.
You know, now he's contradicting himself by saying that he will take any date that Triple G and his handlers, you know, present to him. So that tells me that you're just not 100% confident within your own abilities. Mm-hmm. You know, the guy again contradicts himself time and time again. So I don't know. I mean, I want to see Gennady versus Daniel Jacobs, and I know a lot of people say that his chin may fail him, but that kid has some really good speed, some good power. Yeah, he's long, 6'1". He's got that height. He's got that reach. I mean, I think he can befuddle Triple G for the first couple of rounds and give him a fight, man.
All right. Well, that is the Fight Guys right now, and as we stated, we were talking about the undercard of Canelo Smith, and now we're about to get into the main event. What basically everybody ordered the pay-per-view for that ordered it, or everybody that went to the arena for. That was Canelo versus Liam Smith. Canelo, to me, I know a lot of people are going to say maybe Liam Smith was like a punching bag or something, this, that, and the third, but Canelo, to me, he impressed. He delivered. He basically showed why 51,240 people actually paid their entrances to watch that fight. He did everything he was supposed to do. He beat the guy soundly. There were at times where he even baited him into the ropes, tried to rope-a-dope him, but just let him swing and everything. And he just showed his stardom. He showed who he is in this boxing world. He showed the skill that he has. And even something he said in the post-fight resonates to me. He is a natural counterpuncher nowadays. He is not the guy in the early part of his career where he'd go in to knock people out. He's actually more comfortable now being a counterpuncher and at the same time going forward and attacking. I mean, he impressed. He did what he was supposed to do. And where does he go from here? Obviously, we know that there's some things going on with him, but we'll talk about that after we recap the fight. So, Fred, let me get your thoughts first on Canelo Smith, the fight, and how it went down.
I love Canelo. I mean, like, for real, like I knew he was gonna win the fight, but his punch variations, his 100% confidence in his ability, his confidence to set traps as a counterpuncher. Like, I don't know if you guys ever sparred or anything like that, but to have confidence to set traps as a counterpuncher, knowing this guy's gonna throw 5, 6 punches at me, and then I'm gonna get my shot to knock him out. Canelo is, he is that person that can demand anything in boxing right now. 51,000 people proved it. He has the biggest gate in terms of population that I haven't seen. He had 32,000, 33,000 against Kirkland. I'm just a fan. And I went to the gym, went to Westside Boxing Club yesterday. I'm like, damn, he might be a 55-45 favorite with Triple G. If the betting odds came out today, Monday, he would be he would probably be the favorite because obviously the emotion and adrenaline going towards him, but momentum. Canelo looked phenomenal. I don't know if you got. I don't know if I can say it better than what everyone else has said. He looked phenomenal, man.
And he looked good against the right opponent, though. Yeah. I mean, think about it. If you compare Smith and Kell Brook, Brook is an elite athlete. Smith is not. Smith is a decent boxer. Yeah. You know, he's not a bad fighter at all because he did some things in there that he was landing. He was proving himself. Yes, the aggressor, but Canelo clearly, as he mentioned before, is a better counterpuncher. But he did what was expected. He did what he was supposed to do against a fighter like Liam Smith. If you compare the fight between Kell Brook and Gennady Golovkin versus Smith versus Canelo, Canelo obviously looked better, but to me, Gennady fought the better opposition. Even though he was a welterweight, moving up to middleweight, Kell Brook is a much special fighter, a much better fighter, a much better athlete, a much more proven boxer than Liam Smith. And I feel because of that, Canelo was able to give the fight fans what they wanted, a knockout and an impressive win. I was impressed with Canelo, no doubt about it. But to me, he did it against a guy that any special fighter like Canelo or Gennady Golovkin or Daniel Jacobs was supposed to do. He looked great, but to me it wasn't anything where I'm going to start favoring Canelo over Triple G.
Sal, your thoughts on the fight?
If there's one thing Golden Boy could do is matchmake. I think they knew going in this fight that one, we were all going to criticize him because of the Khan fight.
Yeah.
We didn't know who he was. I didn't really know who Smith was. I heard of him, but nothing. We didn't know much about him. The fact that they knew he was going to put enough of a fight to be entertaining, I think was perfect. I think everything they did was just right. The fight, this counter punching ability, like you said, it's just a beautiful thing. It goes against everything that Mexican fighters are. So the fact that Mexico has someone like that, I think it's a beautiful thing. It's just not a go forward, jab, move your waist. It's a beautiful thing. I think, and honestly, I'm a big Triple G fan, but based on what I saw, I kind of give the edge to Canelo.
Yeah.
And I have a standing $1,000 bet.
Yeah, you do.
I have a standing $1,000 bet on Triple G. So I'm not saying this. I'm not flipping sides. I'm just saying if they were to fight next Saturday, I think the betting public would bet Canelo.
Oh yeah. The thing is, I think Canelo has a better chance now.
Yeah.
I still haven't changed my mind with Gennady. I think with Gennady I had it more like 70-30, but I think it's more like 60-40, maybe 55-45. I think Canelo has a very good chance of upsetting the odds. There's no doubt about it. It makes me a lot more excited, and I even want to. I wanted to see this fight a year or 2 years ago. Now I'm dying to see the fight because I think Canelo is a huge favorite in this fight. Because at least in the fight fans, they're going to have him as the favorite possibly. Because like you said, he looked amazing in his last fight, but it might be a 50-50 fight by the time it gets done.
To me, honestly, what I love about Canelo right now is the confidence that he carries.
Patience.
But the fact that he, no matter what Max Kellerman was throwing at him, he would always reiterate the fact that he believes that at this moment, he is the #1 fighter in boxing right now. He is the #1. Mind you, we have Chocolatito, we have Andre Ward, Triple G, who is basically his Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, whichever way you want to see him and everything. But Canelo's confidence that he believes he is the #1 fighter in the world right now resonates to what he believes and thinks what he can do versus Triple G. He has that belief that he can win. He has that belief that he can beat him. Now the question is, and it's the question that Max asked him, are you being held back by your promoter? Is your promoter keeping you from that fight? What do you guys think about that? Do you guys believe that De La Hoya at this point, even though he said they offered an 8-figure deal for Triple G, even though they never designated what date or when that fight would be, do you guys believe that Triple G, or that Canelo is actually being held back by his promoter? Sal?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no reason why Canelo doesn't want the fight. He sees the backlash. He knows, like you said, his confidence is there. He wants the fight. It's Oscar just that doesn't want it. And I mean, I get it. It's going to be a big fight when it happens. I don't know what you guys heard, but I mean, I heard it's going to be in September. And
next year, yeah, September.
If everything goes well with the negotiations. So
do you believe it's going to happen?
I believe it's going to happen. I really believe it's going to happen. If, again, I really think, and again, we'll go back and talk about this, but I think the negotiations here are key.
Let me add one more thing too before we continue. You said if everything goes right. Obviously, it's already Monday, 2 days after the fight, and something's already gone wrong. Absolutely. And that's that Canelo will not be coming back in December of 2016 as scheduled due to his injured thumb and his hand being fractured and everything. Same question I posed to him, I posed to you, Fred. Do you think Oscar De La Hoya is
100%. 100%. Oscar is all about business. I mean, no doubt about it. And to say that he gave the guy an 8-figure, I equate that to, I laugh because I heard about it Monday, and I was actually in the gym when I heard it. And I laugh because it's like me telling you, Fernando, hey, Fernando, let's climb up to this 50-story building. I'll give you $75,000 if you jump off this building and survive. Like, it don't make sense. The stipulations of that contract probably was,
it goes back to Mayweather-Pacquiao once again. Aaron, when he said negotiations are not done public. You know, we knew the fight was coming with Mayweather-Pacquiao, but thankfully we didn't know any of the negotiations until after everything was signed for and everything, even though they spent 4.5 years arguing. It wasn't really negotiations, it was more of an argument. Right now it's an argument between Golden Boy Oscar and K2. He says one thing, they say this is what they really did. Oh, okay, well now we're going to do this. Is there going to be a time where they're just going to like not say anything and they're just going to discuss it? Or given the time period that we're in of social media, so many media members, so many people having windows of communication that no matter what, something's going to leak.
It would be impossible to hold that. Like for example, I use myself as an example. I knew I won about maybe $1,500 telling people that, betting people $100 each that Floyd Mayweather's fight Manny Pacquiao. I'm not going to tell you when I knew that fight was going to happen, but I mean, you guys know my allies. I knew that fight was coming a long time before. And people like, no, they're not fighting. I said, bet me $100. I'm serious. If that fight was coming. And so it's just impossible to hide that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. It's just no way, no how. It's impossible to hide it. You got to make the fight that night and announce it within 48 hours or 24 hours because we're going to get it.
Dom, same question to you. Do you believe Oscar is what's holding this fight back? Golden Boy Promotions, not just holding it back from Canelo.
I mean, yeah, it's they have to protect their investment. I think Oscar does believe that Canelo could be Triple G, but I think they're just trying to find the right time, you know, still allowing him to mature and acclimate himself to 160 pounds. I mean, the kid is a big kid, so I don't even know how he's making 154. But yeah, they're protecting their investment, and I do believe the fight will get made. I just don't know if it's going to be September. You know, I'm just not 100% on that.
I think so.
Well, what, you think we're going to wait more than September 2017? What,
nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me.
That fight
gets
that fight, honestly,
I mean, I think Golden Boy, they're doing their job. They're doing their job by making sure they get the fight at the right time for their fighters.
September is the right time.
Exactly.
I get weight, and I understand weight.
It's a business.
He's got to mature into 160 pounds. He's got to ease himself in. But I think anything past that time, I mean, it's somebody's going to get
right. No, yeah, I agree. And Gennadi's getting older, so I think, like I said, they're trying to find. And I think with Gennady, the way he looked against Kell Brook, they see a lot of chinks in his armor. They see a lot of holes. So I think possibly because of that, they may get the fight. But here's the thing, though: if Gennady fights Jacobs, though, it's a fight they can conceivably lose.
Yeah,
he can. You know, and remember Brook when he landed that uppercut, he did hurt Gennady. Gennady says no. I saw Gennady get a little stunned.
Yeah.
And